evening, everyone. It's Sunday night. Welcome to the APAT Show. Lee, I tried to find a razor during the week. I couldn't find one. I'm not quite sure what Frank Bailey's going to say. What's he going to say?
Hey, you're going to be in all sorts of trouble if Frank Bailey's on the stream tonight.
Oh, I tell you.
He had a few things to say last week, and you've had a week to get yourself sorted. It's not as if we're in lockdown anymore now, is it? So no excuses, really.
Well, the only excuse that I will, put out there is that I said to Frank last week, I said, look, Frank, Dad, I said, I intend to grow it, right? I'm going to let it grow. So for as long as I can, stick with it and manage the scratchy surface, it's just going to go on and on. So we've ticked another week off of the thing. I must admit, I'm looking at it now and thinking, what the hell am I doing? What the hell am I doing? But we'll see. Let's see.
I'm back into the cycle now of I'm out with a client one day a week, and I've got another client meeting on Zoom tomorrow where I think probably having too much facial hair would be frowned upon. So we did take a little trip out today. We took Lily over to visit Jen's mum and dad just for an hour in their garden to give her a somewhere different to try out. So we took her over there, and so I thought I might just as well have a shave now. And it's done. It's done. I'll be good for the next few days then.
Good lad. Perfect. Oh, it makes sense. We've all done that. Well, listen, now that we're prepared, as it were, a big night of poker, ongoing as we speak. What tourneys are the guys and gals playing?
Well, before I run through the tourneys, Des, let me talk you through who we've got to have a watch out for.
Okay,
this
here
week.
we go.
All right, because there's some money at stake here. I mean, this is that pesky Tony Ross. He's on step 4. He's gone into today second on the leaderboard. He's going to cost us tonight. Yeah, simple as that. Tony Ross is going to cost us some money tonight. Pete Wigglesworth, he's on step 5, Des. He's currently 10th on the leaderboard. That could be a 109 ticket. We might be doing our first 109 ticket tonight, I think. We need a lot of people to overtake him. I don't think he's playing tonight because I tried to get him on the show because I thought we're in with a shout. And he's how can I put it? He's still full of the joys of spring, but in the doghouse. And I'll leave it at that. So
okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does, to say the least. So he's there now. Also, we've got Aaron, Brendan. They're on step 3s. They're in the top 20 as well. Yeah. But we've got a savior. We have a savior, Mr. Duffy, because we've not seen him around for a while, but he's played a lot of APAT over the last year. Eddie Niaksu.
Eddie, yeah.
Not seen Eddie for a little while. Eddie's really, really hammered leaderboard ladders this week. He's 5 cashes already for the week. He's currently top of the table. He's on step 1.
Fantastic. Happy days. Happy days.
His
better half.
Yeah.
Eddie's better half must have taken advantage of this lockdown easing to go and visit family. And he's on his own for the week, and it's just there's pizza boxes everywhere and poker.
But there is nothing we would like more than to be dishing out 3 lots of $5.50 tickets at the end of the night to Eddie. That would make us very, very happy indeed. But he's had a cracking week already. Also third on the leaderboard, only on step 2, Gordon MacArthur. He's had 4 cashes this week, and actually, we're going to jump across to one of the final tables where he's just bust.
Oh no, Lee! Oh no!
So he's just going to miss out on a cash there. That is typical of the APAT show. Let me rattle through what we've got going on tonight. So it's 4 events on the Sunday night, as is the way. The Sunday Deep Stack's already finished. 69 runners in that, $750. Josef Jeszek from the Czech Republic picked up $224. Michael Kosmis from Germany in second, and Harm Kaj from the Netherlands in third. Well done to you guys. 102 runners in the main event tonight. No limit holder.
Nice, it's all good.
Smash the guarantee. Over $3,000 in the guarantee. $750 up top. The Chocolate King, Richard the Chocolate King, is chip leader with 9 players remaining. Super consistent.
Oh, he's got an engine on him, hasn't he?
Hasn't he just? Absolutely. So he's he's going well there. Funnily enough, Michael Cosmis, who I mentioned, finished second in the deep stack. He's currently third of the remaining 9 in the main event. So he's having a cracking night with us, to say the least. The Omaha is on its final table. There's 6 now. We've just lost Gordon MacArthur, who I mentioned, only paying top 5 tonight. So $1,000 in the prize pool. Eddie, our chip leader on the leaderboard, chip leader on the leaderboard, our top of the leaderboard at the moment. He is second in chips. John Murray is doing what John Murray tends to do, which is clinging on at the bottom of the pile. But he's 6th of the 6 remaining, and also a player we've not seen playing much online. Marcin Rimak from Poland is playing that tonight as well. He's 4th in chips and that. And finally, it's the 9 p.m. game. It's the turbo knockout. It's the one that always smashes the guarantee. $500 guarantee. We've got $770 in there. 77 runners in that. Down to 25, paying top 13. So we'll follow that one playthrough as well. But I think we're going to jump into the
Super Duper,
the Omaha, which is,
it is up. Well, we haven't looked at the Omaha in a while, so it is up on screen. It is the final table, as you rightly say. And as you also said, we've got a couple of names on there that people will recognize. Marcin, a really interesting one. Marcin was an APAT sort of live gold medal winner as far back as 2009, certainly. I think with Poland, they won the European Team Championship in Luton, if I remember correctly.
Wasn't that the one that went to the the sudden death?
That's right, with France,
three-way heads up.
That was drama. Thing. That was fabulous. Yeah, it did indeed. Great Polish team. Back then, but Marcin plays quite a lot on the circuit. We do see him at APATs, but we haven't seen him for a little while, so it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, so blinds are 3,000, 6,000 in this at the moment. And,
so Lee, we got a bunch of people watching in. Unfortunately, I can only see 2 names, even though I know we've got a hell of a lot of people watching. Triplin is there.
Is doing this thing to us, isn't it?
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. It's really weird. But Tristan Chaplin is there. Evening to you, Tris. Might have been watching The Gods of Snooker, which was on BBC 2, I think it was, or BBC 1 this evening. I was watching it up to about 5 to 10 when I ran into my little cubbyhole to do the show. Great show. I know you've got it on record, so no spoilers, as we've said for the last couple of weeks.
I'm looking forward to it. It's a 3-parter, so I don't know where. I'm assuming it's every Sunday for the next 3 Sundays, I presume.
Don't know.
I haven't looked as far as that, but
I can't tell you one thing, which I don't think will be a spoiler. There is very much a focus in on individual players. So if it's a 3-parter, I assume we're going to have 3, particular interesting narratives around players.
I don't know whether you saw the trailers for it, but they really went proper, Hollywood with the trailers. It was really quite like epic. When the whole of the UK was glued to the TV screens watching these, these guys.
It's true, though. It's true. It is true. It is absolutely.
Which was the final, which was still going? Went to the repotted black, and it was like
85. Dennis Taylor and Steve Davis.
17 million people.
18.5 million. Like yeah,
amazing.
I mean, it's insane. At like 1:30 in the morning. Incredible stuff. Dennis Taylor won that one. So Tony Ross is there as well. Tony's just minding all of his tickets. He's keeping an eye on them. It's like Fort Knox, just keeping an eye.
Well, so what he did is he built up.
Yeah.
Got to level 5, had a shocker of a week. I think the next week we didn't do very well, and now he's back. You got to watch him. He's back on again. He's on, once he gets a bit of momentum, there's no stopping him.
Well, listen, Tristan said he didn't watch that program tonight. He was watching the seniors final. Let us know who was in the seniors final. I think I read somewhere that
I saw Stephen Hendry was playing during the week, but I didn't. I didn't follow any.
Yeah, I doubt Hendry would have got, but I haven't seen any of it. But he's not been playing magnificently since his return, albeit he did beat Jimmy White at the Worlds qualifying. But apparently Dennis Taylor retired this week. So he used to play, I guess, some of the seniors events, but that is done and dusted now. Talking of,
really? So that's
is 85.
Absolutely. How old would Dennis Taylor be now?
Well, I mean, he was reasonably old back in 85.
You'd have thought, yeah.
So he must be in his mid-60s, I'd have thought. But he does the commentary every year at the Worlds. He may also commentate at any other BBC tourneys, but he's still very good. You know, the voice is absolutely what it was. No changes there at all. Yeah, but let us know who played the final and who won it. Jimmy just lost, so Jimmy White made the final, as he always does.
Saying again, I'm assuming he must be in his late 50s, early 60s now, surely.
Yeah, I'd have thought so.
I'd have thought, yeah.
Tushinbeck, Jimmy used to come from back in the day.
Did you get round to watching the Rack Pack? Yeah, have you found it anywhere yet? Will you watch it?
No, I just haven't got there on that one. I did watch the Let Us Hear Your Voice or whatever that was called on the BBC. Yeah. Thought that was quite fun. Did enjoy that, I have to say. But no, the Rack Pack haven't got to yet. We'll get there. Can't say I've watched anything too spectacular this week. Maybe this PLO final table. Maybe this will be the thing.
My brother came down yesterday for a visit. Amazing, everyone wants to visit when you got a new puppy. Funny that, isn't it? It's can't work it out. But we were chatting about what are you watching at the moment? And I said, I watched binged the series this week, kind of in the background. So I wasn't paying a huge amount. And I said, I can't remember what it was called. I can't even remember what it was about. It was 8-hour-long episodes, and I was sat there for 5 minutes going, nope, I've not got a. And then I remember the name of it. So it was Intergalactic, which was on Now TV. So it must be on one of the Sky channels. But
I've got a little story on that. I've got a little story on that because earlier on today, I was sat there and I switched that on. And we were about 5 minutes into it, and Sian walked into the room, and she looked at it, and she looked at me, and she said, "You watched that before. You watched it for 5 minutes, and then said no, not for me, and turned it off." And I was just at that point. What I didn't want to explain was that the first time I'd watched it, I wasn't fully focused on it. I just thought, nah, I'm not buying this. But so I managed to get through about 10 minutes of it this time before I was interrupted. But I will go back to it.
My brother said he got. Maybe watched the first one and but then gave up on it.
No,
I said, I watched all of them, but the point was I wasn't watching all of them. They just happened to be on, and it went to the next one. And
the 8 happened to be on.
And it was on TV in the background, but I couldn't tell you what was going on.
That's fair enough. That's fair. I do like that sort of stuff. So I'm definitely a candidate to be watching that sort of stuff. And I thought London looked pretty spectacular as a sort of a post-apocalyptic city. That's what I took from the first 5 or 10 minutes of that.
Right, okay. So what Tristan says David Lilly won.
Yeah.
Do you know who David Lilly is?
No idea. Never heard of him as far as snooker's concerned. No. And I thought I knew my snooker.
What's the rules for how you get into the seniors? Is it literally just an age thing, or you must have been a certain level or not?
I don't know. Oh, don't know much about Lilly, but former English amateur champion and world amateur finalist. So, yeah, he's the APAT of snooker. That's fair enough. I mean, world amateur snooker is very sort of high profile. They play the finals all over the world annually. People like Ken Doherty has won the world amateur title and then gone on to win a world pro title. So, fair play to him.
Yeah, no, it's very impressive. Well, in early news in the poker tonight, and a little bit of pressure for Eddie, although he is chip leader in this PLO final table. But Tony Ross has cashed in the main event, finished 13th, which means he's gone above Eddie in the leaderboard tonight by about 2.5 points. So as long as Eddie doesn't bust in 6th here, and not cash and get no points, I would think Eddie is a very strong contender for taking down the leaderboard. But he's at the moment he's in 2nd place now. So you've got to watch that Tony Ross. I told you.
Yeah, it's going to be dry. Well, I will have to keep an eye out for that. It would be an advantage to Eddie to be listening to this and to have heard that, I would imagine. But Triss is saying,
I don't think either of them are still in the turbo tonight. So
okay, so it'll be decided here. Over 40s apparently is the rule for the seniors snooker. That seems odd. Over 40s. That's hardly senior, is it?
Very much at all. Yeah.
It's over 50s in poker, the World Series of Poker, isn't it?
As I say, what is it? And there's a super seniors, isn't there?
In snooker?
Isn't it? No, in the poker. There's 2 levels of seniors in the poker.
Yeah, there
I think
is.
there's-
I'm not
and then there's
entirely.
another one. Yeah.
So what time does
The
super
one where
seniors?
they take some tables out so you can park your Zimmer frame, isn't it? Yeah. So
Oof.
at the Rio, yeah.
Yeah. Now they play very slow.
What? Hey,
Tony is saying,
there's a few A-patters that could probably get away with that.
"Oh, don't! I'm not going there. Those particular A-patters, they abuse you on social media if you go there."
Yeah.
Tony said, "Eddie for bubble."
Oh,
bit of competition, bit of anti-railing in there, I think, Lee.
I love it. Yeah, love a bit of anti-railing. Nothing wrong with that. In the slash, you're down in the water tonight. You've really had a heavy weekend.
No, I haven't touched a one since the Moosehead, the half a Moosehead that I had last Sunday night.
Just ask our Linda on the super seat.
I think I'll pass on that.
Tristan.
I'm not opening that discussion.
No, we're not going down that. Definitely not going down that.
Linda, what age are you? No, I mean, you're gone at that point. You're gone.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a bit of John Murray action going on here because John had raised under the gun with his very, very short stack.
Oh, here we go.
Martian had called. Thomas has gone all over the top, and March has gone out the way, actually.
Diamond?
John's going to need a diamond. Oh, he's got his aces, so he's actually in a good place anyway. John
doubles.
gets more than a double up. To be honest, with Martin called his original raise, so it was pretty much got a triple up there. And John back in it, although he's only got four and a bit bigs, but they're all quite shallow. There's nobody. Even Thomas is the chip leader. He's only sat there playing with 13 bigs at the moment. So, but we know how the Omaha game tends to work. It can. These guys can they can make this last another couple of hours without too much of a problem, to say the least.
As
What was the
Tony
final score in
says,
the Arsenal game? Do we know the final score in the Arsenal game tonight?
I think they were 3-1 up at a point.
3-1 at the end. Okay.
I'm not sure if that was the end, but I think they went 3-1 up.
Still going for a European place, are they? Or are they?
I don't think so. I think that's all done and dusted. I think.
Can they get a European place or not?
I think Good Evening dusted all of that midweek.
Is there a combination or a way they can still finish 9th or the table and get a European place?
No, only if they join the Super League alongside Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Juventus. The 4 of them could indeed play European football next year. Yeah. Interesting couple of days for Liverpool, though. Given West Ham's defeat today and Leicester's defeat.
Everybody, obviously, you didn't want to see the Chelsea winner late on.
No, gutted by that.
Weekend,
but
really, but
I sort of quite wanted that to be the other way around. I wanted City to win the Premier League game and maybe Chelsea to win the European Cup.
Yeah, but because there is a situation with if Chelsea finish outside the top 4 and they win the Champions League, they'll get a place, and that will get 5 in there. Is that not a thing? It's
not a thing now. Now that Arsenal are out of the European League, so Chelsea are fine. Chelsea, if they win, if they finish 5th and get the European Cup win, they'll be fine. But I don't think Chelsea are.
How far down with the European games, European positions go now? It's normally 1 for the Europa League, but then it gets extended down because isn't it 1 for the FA Cup winner gets
well, I think the FA Cup winner goes.
The FA Cup winner is likely to already have a place.
The FA Cup winner goes into the equivalent of the Vauxhall Conference, the European Vauxhall Conference.
Is that the new thing? So how many Europa League places does England get?
Honestly, no idea.
And this new conference thing starts next year.
Yeah.
So how do you get into that?
Through really bad luck. Really bad luck. So I'm going to imagine top 4 get Champions League, 5th, possibly 6th get UEFA Cup or Europa League, and you'd assume then 7th gets.
I thought the winner of the
or maybe it's the winner
Carabao
of the FA Cup.
Carabao Cup winner, I thought, got the conference place now, but that's Man City. So that's what I'm saying is that surely about 8th in the league could get into Europe.
It's quite possible. I'm not sure anybody, and I'm including the teams that are in relegation trouble. I'm not sure anybody wants to go into the European Conference next year.
When's it? It's being played on a Thursday as well, isn't it?
I've no idea.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I think so.
I know nothing
I
about
think
it.
it's being played on a Thursday as well. So
I suppose the only plus is that if you did get into one of those comps, it's a good opportunity to give the younger players experience. Because I don't doubt, particularly for the group stages, that's what teams will do.
But I'm assuming winning it must get you a place in one of the other.
Yeah, but it's so, it's so hard to plan to win something like that because there's going to be so many games to get through. And yes, you might do it. Classic example being United in the Europa League. They probably went into that tourney as one of the favourites, but it's so bloody hard to get through so many matches.
Yeah, completely agree. Eddie's in the chat. Evening to you, Eddie.
Oh, evening, Eddie.
Hi guys. So we're railing you to a few points to get you back over ahead of Tony in the race for the top of the leaderboard tonight. Obviously Tony's on step 4, so he's playing $55 tickets. You're only step 1, $5.50 tickets. So you might not be surprised to hear Des and I are very much Team Eddie tonight. So good luck to you. And to be fair, you've been smashing it all week. So 5 cashes is
Tony. We're only joking with you. We don't mind.
Yeah, to be honest, we don't need to bash Tony. That's what Yanni's there for, isn't it? Really? We don't need to. We don't need to worry about that.
That's right. Eddie says, "Good luck to me now."
Eddie's all in.
Oh, here we go
against Thomas, and he's lost. Oh no!
Holy Jesus! Really?
No, Eddie.
Hold on, didn't he have chips? What has he done?
Chips? No. What's happened there?
Tony says, "Yeah."
Eddie's finished in 6th place, and 6th place is no cash, which means it's no points.
OMG.
We need to find somebody else to help to get us out of this hole.
I think we're in it.
This Tony Ross-sized hole we've got.
I think we're in it. Just ask Tony, does he take cash? We just send the cash straight away through the post.
Can we melt down some medals or something and send those instead?
I've had this one lying around for the longest time, Lee.
This is shocking. So Gordon MacArthur was a hope, and he busted in 7th.
Straight away busted.
So Eddie's now gone. I'm trying to see whether anybody else is gonna get us out of this.
He's talking about
David Nee. Irish David Nee.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
This could be the one. So David Nee is currently 7th on the leaderboard. He's about 40-odd points behind Tony. 45 points behind Tony. However, David is currently 9th of 9 in the main event, and he's 6th of 15 in the turbo.
Wow.
This could be an Irish leaderboard win.
Well, Tony is mentioning Aaron and Mr. Decker. He needs them to bust the turbo. So I'm not sure if Mr. Swaziland and Mr. Decker are.
Aaron is currently 9th in 14, and David Decker from Germany is currently chip leader in that. He's about 35 points behind Tony. So there's a couple that could be chasing Tony down here. We might be saved from having to blow the entire budget.
Don't keep saying it, Lee. They'll believe it's true.
Yeah, blowing the entire budget and Ilfracombe again.
And John Murray says, "Wee!" So he's happy to have just, put in the books his 576th APAT cash.
He's now, he's banked $80. But obviously we don't want to give it, he doesn't want the $80. He's still got his eyes on the 410 up top.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to need a few chips though, Lee. He has found himself quite short now.
Yeah, with blinds at 4,000, 8,000. To be honest, actually, John's got 8 bigs there. That's quite a lot for John. We've seen him, make that last for many an orbit.
Oh, he's a mechanic of that. There's no question. But he is facing some narrowed options with that stack at the moment. The average is 260, and John is sat with 60. So he's a little behind his compadres, albeit he's not the only shorty in there.
No, and we've just hit the FT bubble on the No Limit Hold'em main event as well now. So the final 9 are playing out, and Alan Redpath is actually all in against Pierre. Ace King versus Ace 6. Alan with the Ace 6. He's going to need a 6 or he's going to bust, and he busts in 9th place, and so down to 8 in that. And we're on the money bubble in the turbo as well. 9 o'clock. 14 players left, paying top 13 in that. So yeah. Three tournaments still on the go, and all at really important stages now. Final tables, all the money bubble. Evening to you, Rob. Rob Lloyd says, "Evening, folks. Long time no see." Yeah, it's been a while, Rob, since we've seen you round these here parts.
Round these here parts? Is that the way you speak, Lee? How long can we talk like that for?
Not for very long.
Not for very long. We'll be taking off the air, lad.
So John Murray's added some chips. Full house.
Tony says, "Keep balking, guys. We're working for Tony at the moment. It's evidently he's using us and doing a fine job." Evening, Rob. Hope you're well.
So David Nee in the No Limit Hold'em main event is the short stack. Yeah, it's difficult. He's going to pick some points up though, that's for sure. Let's see how many he's going to get for where he is at the moment. So he's going to pick up about 35 points for where he is at the moment, which might actually no, it's not. See, that's not going to be enough for him. So he's going to need to cash in the other one as well. But if he does a double cash here, I think it could be enough. But obviously, David Decker's the other one. If he was to take down the turbo, then
David needs he's the short stack on the main event final table, right? So
yeah,
he's got a bit of work to do.
And he's all in now. He's got 2 big stacks to get through. I'd be surprised if one of them doesn't call with any 2. They do, and it's 10-8 against 10-7. So he's in a good spot. But he's going to end up chopping it, I think. Yeah, he does end up chopping it. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. But he'll have to do with that. Blinds in that one are 15,000, 30,000. Just to give you an idea, David Nee's got 100k, so he's got just over 3 bigs. He's pretty much looking for any spot to get his chips in the middle. I'm not even sure whether David would even know I'm assuming he must know he's on the leaderboard. He's had a couple of cashes this week, so Trish says, anyway, guys, live tournament start in a few weeks. General thoughts?
Saw that.
So what's start in the UK?
The Vic. The Vic are running, the London Poker Room, is it? Are running a 500 buy-in, I think, on like the weekend that the pub's open. So is that May the 17th? So that's fast approaching.
It's like a week today.
So I think that is what we're talking about. Grosvenor have come out with a bit of PR sort of stating, cash tables. We're going to start there. Some limited tourneys in certain venues, including this particular tourney. 7-seated, plexiglass, everywhere.
They're doing 7-seated with plexi.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you see this week that a number of the Vegas casinos?
Yes, they pulled the plexi out. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. And did you see the boxing last night?
No.
73,000 people.
Really?
At a fight last night.
Where was the fight held?
Texas, I want to say, I think.
Oh, Jesus wept. That's a lot of people.
73,000, which was a record or something for 73,000 last night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they mention that Trump was on the undercard or something? Is that the way that went down?
No idea. But yeah, it seems to be the way we're going. And it's been successful, the sporting stuff so far. And I think there's a realization that's what's it's what's going to happen.
But in relatively small numbers, Lee, right? Small numbers.
Getting quicker, but it'll be interesting to see. So in a couple of weeks' time, the Premier League everyone's got a home game where they can have a number of players. I mean, they're pushing hard for this Champions League final to get moved, aren't they? From
Turkey, I saw that.
It sort of makes sense, but at the same time, obviously, even though it's going to be in Turkey and fans can't go, there's still organisation and tickets will have been sold and
Yeah,
all
well,
sorts of things.
that was
Very
the first thing
difficult.
that came to
It's
my
easy to
mind.
say. It's easy to say, oh yes, move it, but it's a bit more complicated than that, isn't it?
That was sort of the thing that came to my mind, having gone over to a couple in the last few years. The minute the semi-finals were won, I mean, I booked hotels and start thinking about flights and stuff like that. I suppose the point of difference this time around is that tickets clearly were always going to be fairly limited. So therefore, who would commit to booking hotels and stuff without them being refundable? So it might be that from an admin point of view, they can do it, and Istanbul will be awarded their third Champions League final in a row next year.
Yeah, that would be the sensible thing.
It'd be sensible, wouldn't it? It would be sensible.
I think they were talking about Villa playing it at Villa.
Yeah,
Villa
yeah,
Park.
yeah. A
Which is nice,
great cup semi-final venue from the golden days of.
Villa have won the European Cup. So
yeah, but also it's for the fans, any of the City fans and Chelsea fans, it's just beautiful. Just travel to the Midlands, about a similar journey for both. Happy days.
Yeah, so it would be. I think it would be nice if they could do that. I think the United Villarreal games in Poland, isn't it? So
yeah. So Tris is saying, he's agreeing 7-handed with masks and the perspex. Not for me, but I understand people want to get back. I think there'll be a lot of people sort of saying, well, I might give it another month or two just to see whether, in fact, that perspex begins to disappear, because it's not very personable. And Tris is saying the Hippodrome in London has had a makeover. I've seen lots of promotion of that online. I think that will be my first visit. That's the PokerStars poker room at the Hippodrome. That would again make sense. It'll be really interesting to see what happens over the next month or two, Lee, with poker beginning to come back.
Three-way all in, aces, kings, and 7, 8, 9 jack, and the aces are gonna be good. And Marcin takes a massive pot there.
It shows you that patience pays. Marcin was short.
Yeah, Matthias is now going to be all in with his 4,000 odd, which is not even a small blind, which means John Murray might be on for a ladder here.
He's laddering, Lee.
I'd imagine. We'll see whether Andres decides to fire a bet out here or whether they just both check it down. I mean, it's only a little jump. It's $80 to 110, but sort of feels the right thing to do here is to check it down, and John's actually going to take that.
Happy days. All adds to his stack.
Yeah, so we're down to 4. And in the No Limit Hold'em final, we've just lost David Nee in 8th place. He was short stacked, so that's not really that much of a surprise. What it does mean, though, is he's moved a little bit closer now to Tony. He's about 10 points behind Tony now, but he's got he's obviously got the turbo knockout as well. So he's very much in a good place.
And we've got Thomas, presumably will fire into John, but he thinks better of it. And Mr. Murray takes those blinds.
Yeah, it's still difficult for John here. He's say blinds at 5,000, 10,000. He's playing 80. He's sat with 84,000, and the other guys have got decent stacks compared to him. Will Thomas fire out another bet here? He does. Pot size bet.
Good enough.
So, yeah, it makes it difficult for John. It's either you just either decide, right, I'm going to go with it, or live to fight another day. And he's got 8 bigs.
Talking of living to fight another day, Derby left it late to remain in the championship. It
was fascinating because the headline was kind of saying, oh, Derby have, they got a late equaliser to save themselves. And of course, that wasn't what saved them, was it?
Was
It
it
was
not?
Cardiff equalising
Oh, against
against
Rotherham.
Rotherham that
Yeah,
saved
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's
It
true.
was, yeah.
It's true.
Derby didn't actually save themselves.
It's true.
They needed the point, but actually it was Cardiff getting was it the 90th minute or 89th minute, something like that, equaliser for Rotherham, which is gutting. Rotherham went there, knowing all they could do is win, and they're one up for, with a couple of minutes to go. I mean, that's.
I have to say,
But but you also got it wrong because you called them Derby, and I think you'll find they're Wayne
Derby.
Rooney's Derby. I think you'll find.
Okay, I was going to say Derby. Is it Derby?
It used to be Frank Lampard's Derby, and then now Wayne Rooney's Derby. So,
yeah, I bet that doesn't go on for long.
No,
He hardly pulled up trees, did he?
Do you think they're not going to? I mean, are they going to get rid of him, or do you think they'll?
I doubt they'll get rid of him, but it's hard to see him. I mean, it's hard to. Well, we'll put it this way. So they are in an ownership discussion. Let's say a new owner comes in.
John's all in, hit his jack, but Thomas then turns the 8 to go with his pair of 8s, and we're going to lose John Murray.
Unlucky John.
In 4th place. Good run though, John.
Yeah, I mean, if a new owner comes in, Lee, I would imagine if they're struggling, through the first half of next season, I mean, it's the manager, justifiable or not, is normally the first to get his ticket. Mind you, in saying that, when you see how Chelsea have performed under Tuchel versus Fabulous Frank, maybe there's some merit in it.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's an incredible turnaround.
Yeah, and they look good, Lee. They look good. They look like a proper team.
They do really look a good side. I mean, scarily, they could end up coming away with 2 trophies this season.
Well, I'd make them a slight favourite for the Champions League in my books.
I wouldn't have said under Frank they looked anything like doing that.
No. They played a bit like Frank, existed, and that was a bit emotional. Lots of potential, but sometimes just a little over the top, a little frail, perhaps. But they certainly don't look frail under Tuchel. They look a well-oiled machine, quite disciplined. And that's where I think City will regret having to play Chelsea as opposed to Real Madrid, because I think, Chelsea have shown with those last 2 wins over City in the last month that, they have their number in big games.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Just putting a couple of exits in the turbo just going through, and Govin Varadin has cashed in 13th place. Haven't seen him for a while. He's go on Facebook when he's had 3 cashes this week so far.
Nice.
and picked up another little min cash tonight as well. So nice to see you back playing. Go, hope you're well.
Fantastic.
It's interesting how we've seen players that were playing like squads quite regularly, and then maybe have had a little bit of a break and have then come back to it. It's kind of a cyclical thing, isn't it, with players as other things have been going on in life. Yeah,
I really missed that squads. Would really like if we had the ability to put that back on again. I thought that was just a great 9 months of competition.
Yeah, so we're watching David Decker and David Nee and Aaron all are still in this turbo with 10 players left now. So the pressure is going to be on Tony, who I think is still top of the leaderboard.
Where are we going to go to after this, Lee? Are we going to go to the main event or to the turbo?
Yeah, I think we probably should go to the main event because there's some decent money up top in that. So that would be the right thing to do, as we're now heads up Thomas against Marchin.
And you'll keep an eye on the turbo with regards to the leaderboard.
Yeah, exactly. We're down to 10 at the moment. That will go fairly quick, I think. Looking at that, their average stack there is they've got about 30 bigs average stack. So there's a little bit of play, but obviously it's a bit of a quicker structure. So
Tris is saying Derby have been terrible this season, which obviously they have. But, 1 point in the last 7 games. And obviously, as you mentioned, they needed that Cardiff sort of 2 minutes, 88th minute equaliser. And Sheffield Wednesday's points deduction to stay up. So that doesn't fill me with a whole lot of confidence to see them celebrating the way they were on the sidelines.
No, but I guess it's the thing of okay, we've given ourselves, or we've got another chance. Yeah. Yes. If you it's celebrating not getting relegated, it is, yeah, I can understand it in the moment.
Yeah.
You would hope then they will all have a long, hard look about, well, a club like that with, with the names and Rooney in there as well. You think, well, they should be,
Oh
they
God,
should
yeah.
comfortably be pushing for a playoff place, not fighting off relegation. Very much, that's the case.
So are you, as we see this hat potentially go to a river card, are you excited about the Euros at all, with Wales sort of smack bang in the middle of it?
Not really giving it much thought. No, isn't
There
it
hasn't
weird?
been
I think
any buzz really at all, has there?
no, there's
Not yet, but I
not been a
suspect
huge
it'll
amount.
take off big
I
style.
think there will be. I think it's just because it's been so rammed with football, isn't it? I mean, it's been cramming everything in, and you're going to have about a 2 or 3 week window effectively before we hit and then I think the Euros will then become a really good release, because the pubs will be open. I think it'll be a good.
It should be good. It should be good. Just
Of
surprised that we haven't seen the old.
Hopefully, players aren't completely knackered by then.
I think that's a fair call, because I think quite a lot of them will be. It's been a tough season for injuries for lots of reasons for a lot of clubs, a lot of players.
Actually, do you know, that's a bigger deal. Actually, I would hate to see a player now in the last couple of weeks through fatigue pick up a nasty injury and then miss a tournament like that just simply because they've been playing. I mean, I worry with Maguire coming off today.
Yeah.
He's not missed a minute of Premier League football since he signed for us, and it was a real innocuous nothing challenge, really. But they just took him off, and obviously you kind of think, well, he's not going to play Tuesday and Thursday this week.
No, he won't be playing Tuesday,
when really it doesn't mean anything now.
Yeah.
As much as it's still beating two of your close rivals, it's still not. You've got to be sensible about it. Our one focus now is the 26th of May. It's
know anything about Villarreal? Good evening. Good evening. I'm Mr. Emery.
Well, yes, yeah. I'm quietly confident that
you should be.
On our day, there's no reason why we shouldn't.
Cavani seems to have come into his own over the last month or so. He's looked really, really, really strong.
He is
proper centre forward.
I mean, if for nothing more that the youngsters around him train with him every day, his movement and his ability just to get that yard and get in ahead of players when a ball comes over, and that's what we were missing today. We got the crosses we got in the first half was obscene, and there wasn't a single player trying to get on the end of any.
He's got a proper footballing brain, hasn't he? He's a real centre forward.
There's not many of those proper number 9s left, are they? That that's what they do. They don't go much far wider than the goalposts.
Yeah.
Your kind of your Linekers and your Shearers didn't. Yeah, that was it. You wouldn't see them pulling out Thierry Henry style out wide left and then cutting in or anything like that. It was like, I'm staying in the middle, you get the ball into me. It's he's one of those, and I'm hope he will sign another for another year and decide just to give it another.
I'd be amazed if that didn't happen at this point. Are you expecting another big old protest on Thursday? Now, I think they're lining up the Liverpool game again. United fans.
I don't see what it'll do. I think the point was made last time round. I don't see what they'll achieve. Interestingly, Glazer's come out as positive, I think, as you're ever going to see him be, and he's talking about meeting with the fans. I don't know whether that is just to appease them in the short term to make sure that we don't have any more disruption, or whether he's actually genuinely wants to talk to them. But
I don't think there's any way back for the Glazers. I think they're just awful people. They really are.
But the problem is that they can make so the United Supporters Trust must are talking about wanting. We want some independent people on the board, and we want we want some fan ownership, and neither of those are going to happen. And
Well,
why
I think the
should they?
board. I think the board thing might happen. It's already happened at
But
Chelsea. It's been discussed at
but it's
Liverpool.
but it's if it is, it's nothing. It's nothing more
Yeah,
than a token gesture
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah. I agree with that.
they're not going to have any control over it.
But at
And
least
the
you'd
whole
have
thing about
visibility,
fan,
right?
yeah. The whole thing about fan ownership is with clubs that are worth the sort of money that we're talking about. It's just nonsensical. So the fans are going to raise a load of money to buy 51% of the club.
Which
Um,
club?
any club, I
No,
mean,
they're
the
not.
point is,
They're not. They can't do that.
of course they're not. Of course they're not. It's a non-starter. If a United are worth 3 billion, 4 billion, whatever, whatever their figure they're quoting, for fans to be able to do that, and once they've done that, they still don't have actually any control or anything. They can stop things from happening, but actually all they're going to do is they're going to stop the club from being able to grow. Because why would the owner that's got 49% say, well, I'll keep pumping money in, or I'll keep doing this or doing that, when the owners of the 51% are not going to take any of the risk? I mean,
Yeah, it's a nonsense.
it's a non-starter, unfortunately. It was great with the German model, but that's because the German model had it in place before these clubs became so
Yeah,
big
absolutely.
and so valuable, and therefore it was already in play. You're trying to shut the stable door after the horse has bolted here with the
Yeah.
Premier League.
And look at Liverpool.
And the
10 years
big
ago,
club.
they were bought for 300 million.
Yeah.
300
What's
million.
the value now? What's the value now?
2.5 plus billion.
Yeah. It's not. It's a non-starter. So the difficulty thing is they can protest again. What happens? They get the game disrupted again, and we don't play the game again. There's no other slots. They've already had to cram it into a
3 points to
ridiculous
Liverpool.
week. Well, yeah,
I'll tell you, there've been lots of Man United shirts bought in Liverpool this week.
Yeah,
we're going to disrupt the game in your shirts.
Yeah, well, but as a United fan, I would probably just go, just have the 3 points. If that's what's going to happen, yeah, because
love them.
It's not that an important game for us. I'd rather have the players rested up for the Europa League final. I want a trophy now. We've guaranteed Champions League now, so I want a trophy now. I think
the game on Thursday night, if it does go ahead, and I assume it will go ahead, I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be blood and thunder because it has to be for Liverpool. They have to win it, so they won't get another chance. And United would always want to beat Liverpool. Why wouldn't they?
No, exactly. Is your view that you need to pretty much win the rest of the games this season?
Yeah.
And then,
and
then see.
Yes.
Nothing.
And to be honest, I think we can. I think United away is obviously the toughest one.
But if you drop any points, you think if you drop any points, and that's done.
Done. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, even in that scenario, we still need Leicester to drop 3, but Leicester have Chelsea, Spurs, and United. So, those are 3 tough games. They, it wouldn't be unreasonable for Leicester to drop 3 in one of those games, particularly when you saw them, taken apart by Newcastle.
That was a weird game, wasn't it?
Very strange.
Yeah, very, very strange game that was, to say the least. In this Omaha, Marchin's taken a bit of a chip lead here.
It's been a good game, Lee.
Yeah, not quite got a 2-1 chip lead, but they've been playing a nice bit of poker here. It's certainly, obviously, the jump in money is $245 for second place and $410 up top. So,
well, the guys are playing small ball. They're seeing lots of flops, turns and rivers, but nobody's needed to put their stack at risk just yet.
No, definitely not.
Tris is saying the protest caused havoc with his fantasy team last week. Yeah, those fantasy team owners, bad people.
Gave you the opportunity for a crazy week this week. I used my wildcard transfer this week because you've got a load of teams playing twice, and of course United playing 3 times. So
good point.
So very much was worth
Bruno.
Worth
just
gamble.
Jam it all on Bruno.
So I've got Bruno, Rashi, and Cavani in. Bruno as my captain for the week, and I've just gone for it. Got Salah in, So the only downside I've had is I kept Watkins in from Villa, who got himself sent off today.
Yeah, I was unlucky.
I don't think it's a really weird one. I mean, I saw the Villa manager after the game have a bemoaning United's penalty, which, well, he pretty much hacked Pogba from behind in the box. What in front of the referee? What do you want the ref to do there exactly?
It's give or take,
very
isn't it?
silly. But there was no contact on Watkins. His argument is, well, he had to go to ground to.
No, he didn't.
To get himself to getting hurt. So no, he went. If he'd have gone to ground and just turned around and got up, fine. But he didn't. He went to ground and was trying to get a penalty.
Did the cheeky look.
So the minute he's done that, then he's not been touched. So he's no grounds for it. If he'd have gone to ground going, cool, I thought I was going to get clattered, so I got out of the way, and but I'm not claiming anything. But he didn't. He tried to claim a penalty, and the minute you try and claim a penalty, having done that and not been touched, you're
hooked. You're gone.
Yeah. So everyone can come out and say, oh, he's the straightest player around in the league, and he's all this. Well, no, but fine. Take the dive because you're worried about getting clattered by the keeper, who then pulled his leg back, so didn't touch you. Fine, but don't roll on the ground, looking referee for a penalty, because that's when that's stimulation at that point. So,
he's a bit like that. I hate to say his name. That arsehole Neymar, such a fabulous player.
Yeah.
But his attitude is so bad. He's always looking for fouls. He's looking to get in other players' heads. He's pushing people. He's into every bit of aggro going. Can't understand it. Terrible attitude for such a great player.
Yeah, and really doesn't like it when it's not going his way.
No.
But he signed a new contract this week.
Yeah, that amazes me too.
Yeah, but there was rumors that Barcelona. I really think Barcelona, Real Madrid, financially are in a right state.
I'll tell you, that reminds me. Real Madrid were playing tonight in a big game, and the result was
they were one down,
2-2.
Is it 2-2 in the end? Okay.
2-2.
Is that finished?
That's it, done and dusted. So Madrid and Seville. So Madrid were third, Seville were fourth. And of course, you had first against second yesterday with Atletico and Barcelona drawing. So Atletico stayed top. That is super tight. Let's have a look. So Atletico have 77 points, 35 games. So 3 to go. 2 points back, Real Madrid, Barcelona, with Seville now a further 4 points back. So Seville have slightly fallen off the pace, but 2 points between the top three with 3 games to go in Spain. Cool. And it's the unfancied workhorse that currently leads.
It's some weird stuff going on. The Italian league is I mean, Juventus
France.
clinging on to try and get a Champions League spot. This is the team that had won, what was it, 9 on the bounce or something like that in the league?
Well, they played Milan. They were at home to Milan.
Milan were 1 up when I last looked.
It's over now. Where's your money?
I would imagine Milan probably held on,
3-0.
3-0 in the end.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
they were level on points going into this game, and they were 4th and 5th, I think. So
just looking at France, because it's super close in France, Lens, I think, are leading PSG by 1 or 2 points. And I don't see them, so they must have played yesterday, but PSG played this evening. They were away to Stade Rennais. How did PSG do this evening?
I'm going to guess they lost then, did they?
Goal apiece.
Wow.
You just can't buy the points. Let's see if Lens played yesterday.
So players, it's 5 to the hour, so players are on a break. So we're heads up in this Omaha. There are 6 players left in the No Limit Hold'em main event, and we're down to 5 in the Turbo Knockout. David Nee is still in there, 5th of 5, and David Decker is a big chip leader. He has more chips than the other 4 players put together in that Turbo.
So it's actually a Lille in France. With 2 games left, Lille have 79 points. PSG have 76. I mean, surely Pochettino's got to get sacked. He's got to go. 3 points down with 2 games to play. He's got to go. He can't not win the French league, right?
Expected to win that league, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So we're on a break, right? So let's talk about something non-sporty for a minute. So I had my vaccine jab the other week, a couple of weeks ago now.
How did it go for you? How did the day after go?
I didn't have a thing of anything. Nothing.
Look at that super DNA. Super DNA. Didn't need to fight back.
Not a thing at all. So not last Friday's quiz, the Friday before that's quiz, we always have a little bit of a chat after the quiz, and the Bromleys were in, and we were talking about vaccines, and they were a bit nervous about it, and Phil Coles was in there as well, and we were all chatting away about, it'll be fine, you should do it. Well, anyway, so Natalie posted up today on Facebook, her and Adam had gone and had their vaccine jab. Bit nervous. She said I was a bit girly about it, but I went and got it done in the end. And very interesting post from Phil Coles. If you actually are unsure about having a vaccine, go and read what Phil wrote on Natalie's post, because it very sensible little scientific piece about vaccines or whatever. But anyway, so Natalie posted a picture of the little cards you get with your name and the date you had your vaccine, and it tells you what vaccine you had in your vaccine batch. And I saw it and I thought, it's familiar.
You bloody accountant.
I went downstairs, because I'm good with numbers, me.
You remembered your batch number?
Yeah, and I thought, I found my card, which is on the bookcase downstairs, ready for when I go back in July. And bear in mind, I had my vaccine, 2 weeks ago in Bournemouth. So they had theirs today somewhere on the northwest coast, I'd imagine. It will have been sunny and lovely. Same batch number, Des.
That's
how
amazing.
Bloody big. How many doses?
Yeah, how many doses in a batch? How big a fridge must that have come out of?
How can that possibly be a thing? Now, I'd first triggered on this about a week ago, not even a week ago, actually, a couple of days ago. Matt Pitt, Matt Pitt, I'd posted up on Facebook because he'd gone and had his jab, and his batch number was 1 out from mine. He was 1 more, so I think it was 41 on the end, and I was 40.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's a bit weird. And I said to Jen, I said, I wonder how many doses are in the. And I googled it, and it's very difficult to know. I mean, they're talking maybe 1 million, but I thought, well, even if it's 1 million, that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, does it? And then also I said to you before the show started, I said, have you got? Do you know what your batch? And yours is completely a different thing altogether, isn't it? So, but how strange is that? So over 2 weeks apart, pretty much the length of the country, and the Bromleys and myself had exactly the same AstraZeneca batch number on our jabs.
It feels like a long shot. I don't know if it feels like sequential banknotes in different parts of the country, but it does feel like a long shot. As you said, even if there were 1 million shots in a batch.
About all this, it does obviously. I would say, please go and get your vaccine jab.
Oh yeah, if you it was honestly. The whole process was fantastic, and the injection itself was just super simple. It was like barely a scratch.
Yeah, absolutely, go and do it. But yeah, but curious to know if anybody. Natalie posted up the picture of hers, so you'll.
The only thing I would say is that I thought they were quite brave doing it together, and I understand why they did it together. And a lot of people will have done it together because it's efficient, right? You both go in together. But if you do feel a bit low the following day, if your arm is sore, or if you're feeling a bit ill or whatever, as there are a few symptoms around, it's just the both of you might have them at the same time, and that's the only one thing I would say to consider when you're planning your own individual trips in.
Obviously, and you're significantly older than Sean, so she's not even due a jab yet, is she? So
she's not in the jab window yet. Thank you, but you make a very good point, particularly if you have kids, right? So if you've got kids, it makes no sense for mom and dad both to be feeling off color for 24 hours, and if you don't, of course, less of an issue, I suppose.
So Tristan says, I've got my jab in a few weeks. I'll have a look at the batch number. Now, well, you need to request this batch number. It's a special batch number.
Don't request it, no. Go into Coral, right? Go into Paddy Power, get a tenner on it. Say, this will be my batch number.
I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to get my jab in a few weeks' time. What odds will you give me on my batch number being this? I'd love to see if somebody would actually be prepared to actually give you some odds on that. That would be
I'll give you
great to see.
5,000 to 1.
Yeah.
Now, when you say 5,000 to 1, what do you immediately think of?
5,000 to 1, Leicester City.
Of course. And big fan, Leicester, Mr. Prue, our very own Mr. Prue, Tighty, had a bit of an unwell period last week. Haven't heard from him since. Have you?
Unwell is one way of putting it.
Well,
yes.
yeah, that's how I'd put it on the show. And but you know, seem to be on the mend, which is good. But you know, yeah, hope he's doing well, is what I would say.
Yeah, we do. It kind of summed it up in you always typical Rich, isn't it? It's a difficult Tighty thing is that yeah, it was quite a serious turn, and luckily it's been dealt with very quickly and amazing. But the fact that I think most people found out about it because I'm assuming he was in a hospital bed somewhere, and he just tweeted it out. Just went,
the style was very direct. It was.
This is this happened to me earlier on today, but don't worry. Already been operated on. It's all sorted.
It's all fine.
And fires it out on a tweet. I mean, like
I'm writing brilliant content as we speak.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Right thing.
It did feel like you know, he'd had a good day, considering the start, which was good to hear. But I dare say Friday night will have set him back with that Leicester result, because getting into the Champions League will be super important to Rich.
I think it would be for Leicester. It would be gutting if 2 years in a row they have been. I mean, they've been deserving for 85-90% of the season, and then just throw it away at the end. That would be pretty gutting, I think. Because they're very much up there. They're part of the when the Super League was going on, they were talking about the Big Six. You kind of go, well, I mean, Leicester in the last 5 years, why would you not be counting them in very much in there? A really, really well-run club, good squad, do things the right way, good owners, say really strong manager in there that quietly goes about his business. I mean, you can't, you think about, what the job he's done there. Just say you don't hear much from him. Just goes about what he's doing. I mean, what did you make of him when he was with you?
I liked him. I really did. I liked him. I think that's how I would leave it. I think he had a talented bunch of players. They reacted well to him. Very, very, very unlucky not to win the league with them. And I quite liked him, I had to say.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because the squad has got a lot of youth in that Leicester squad, but also they've got a couple of key players that I'll be starting to get past their best before dates sort of thing.
I tell you, listen,
how long has Vardy got left playing the type of game?
I completely agree. But I'll give Rodgers that from his time at Swansea, which is his first big job. He played attractive football, team was tough to play, performed well, did well at Liverpool, did incredibly well in Scotland, has now done extremely well again with Leicester, handles himself well in the media. Still a young manager. I can understand why he's been linked with Spurs. I can understand why he was linked with Arsenal previously.
Why would you want to go to Spurs?
Well, evidently he doesn't at the moment, because he'll certainly have a better chance of playing Champions League football with Leicester next year. But you can't hide from the fact that Spurs have just invested like over $1 billion in a stadium, and have some incredible players. And the reality is they were in a Champions League final 2 years ago. Talented squad there. Maybe it's the manager.
They've got a squad that's starting to age.
So somebody needs to come in and do some surgery. But the reality is Jose was never going to get the best out of that squad, because they were used to dealing with a manager who loved them through Poch. And Mourinho is the exact opposite. So, who knows what a new manager like Rodgers would do for Spurs.
we might have a bit of a headline story happening here in the Turbo Knockout, Des.
Go on. What's happening?
Because David is currently chip leader, Eric is currently second, but if they get heads up, it'll be a double decker because it's David Decker and Eric Decker.
No
One
way!
from Germany, one from Germany, one from Austria. So
fantastic.
Love a good fantastic.
Well, listen, I'm happy to call it, and then we'll have a Desmond Decker.
Yes, very good, very good.
Yeah,
this heads up's just is ticking along. These guys, they're not.
It's got the look of a 10-hour heads up. This,
yeah, it does.
It's like the Chip Reese sort of 50 grand buy-in final table.
It does feel a little bit like that. So, so David Nee in the Turbo Knockout is now third of the 4 remaining players. And that is it's going to be enough to put him ahead of Tony, that's for sure. And I think if David Decker wins that, then David will go ahead and take the lead. And actually, Josef Jezek, who won the deep stack earlier on, has gone ahead of Tony as well. So Tony could end up, Tony could be risking not even making top 5 here in this this leaderboard tonight. I still think Pete Wigglesworth is going to hang on in the top 20. I think we're going to end up giving 109 ticket away tonight, as that one's all over now, and Marcin takes the win.
I can't change the table, Lee. I can't change the table. Frank Bailey's just come on the stream.
Oh, really? Oh, right. Okay, fine. Fair enough. We'll just have to leave, an empty table for a little bit. Marcin wins that with 2 pair. You're gonna have no option because the table's gone pop. So
there we go.
You're gonna have to do something. So we'll bring up the no limit hold'em table because there's some big money at top here now in the main event on a Sunday night. 102 runners in that, over $3,000 in the prize pool. We're down to as we're just going to watch aces versus ace king if Des can get the table up quick enough, whether he's going to. Alexandra with the aces and Pierre with the ace king, and the aces are going to hold. You're always going to be gutted if your aces with a bust against ace king. You'd be absolutely gutted. And Alexandra is going to pick up the chips in that one, and Pierre will finish in 6th place. So we're down to 5 now in this. 5th place are guaranteed $180. And it's $750 up top. So some big money to play for now with these 5 players remaining. And one of them is Michael Cosmis, who was second in the deep stack earlier today, and he's now in the final 5 of the main event as well. So he's going to pick up some decent.
Nice work. Points. We got a bit of action in the chat box there, Lee, as well. Marcin is there. It was nice to play APAT again. Good to see you, Marcin. Well done. Well done indeed, sir, on your run tonight. Mr. Bailey, as we said, is in the chat now. Jamie Lackenby was there as well. Good luck to Martin Cornish. And Marcin's off to bed. Say good night, all. Good night to you, sir.
So we're heads up in the turbo, and it's David Decker against David Nee. It's the 2 players that Tony was hoping weren't going to be involved, and they are the final 2. David Decker from Germany has pretty much a 6-1 chip lead, 5 to 6.
Oh, he's in good shape.
6-1 chip lead on David Nee from Ireland, but both of them are going to be very near the top of the leaderboard at the end of this week. Once we get these final results in, that's for sure. With 5 left in here, and Richard King's still there. Des, the Chocolate King.
I know, I saw that. Just can't shake the man off.
Just super efficient and consistent in what he does.
I will give you that. Hey Lee, what do you think of this? Look on your screen. Just got the APAT table ready. Right, we're just waiting to get back. Bit of a home game. What do you reckon?
Is that your new garden furniture?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very nice.
I think so.
So Jamie Lackenby says, "Good luck to Martin Cornish." He's in the final five here in the main event.
It's all gone very quietly, very quiet. What's the next big? What's the next big tourney series on Party? World Poker Tour Online's been shoved back by a little bit because of the software update, right?
I saw. Well, yeah, I think also Rob was just worried that it was because obviously you had this big clash of Stars and GG and some Party. What was it? The Power Fest.
Yeah.
So they decided to just shunt the WPT back by not by a huge amount. I think it starts next week, or certainly there's phases going into some of the stuff starting next week. We're not too far off the World Cup of Cards that's in June.
Do we know what that is?
It's $1,000 buy-in, million guaranteed. It's got 3-day ones.
Just one event or a whole series of festival?
That's the only thing that's in there in the tab at the moment. It's next to the APAT tab in the lobby, and that's all I really know about it at the moment. But it's hopefully I'm assuming it'll be more than just one event. But $1,000 buy-in with a million guaranteed is pretty.
I'd have thought so.
And $1,000 buy-in is, for a recreational player, it's an achievable target to satellite into.
Well, you can definitely take a few shots at sats.
Yeah. When some of these $3,000 buy-in, $5,000 buy-in, whatever, the 25,000 super high rollers, whatever. I mean, they're nigh on impossible to satellite into. But at $1,000 tournament, you can do $10 into a 109, 109 into a 1K. It is achievable.
Listen, there's a bit of love for Martin in the chat box. Mr. Redpath is there. Good luck, Martin. I run bad, finishing 9th. Unlucky, Alan. We did mention you earlier on this evening. Andy Coyle is there as well. Take it down, Corn Dog.
Take it down, Corn Dog. Yes. I would much rather we say if you're going to have real names on the table, it's fun, but also you should have your proper nickname that everyone knows you.
Absolutely.
As well.
So, Lee, if you had a food-related nickname, what would it likely be?
I probably already do. I technically not already have a food-related nickname?
You probably do, actually, but it's too close to home. That doesn't. It's too respectable. I don't think we can give you that one. I'd probably get called Spud. That would work well for me. I do. Okay. I do like a potato. I do like a potato. It's an Irish thing, and just look at this.
Yeah, fair enough. That's all good. I'm just keeping an eye on both the Davids in the Turbo Knockout. Decker's just got a few more chips now, but David Nee's still hanging on in there. He's not giving this one up quite yet. But as I said, both of them are going to go above Tony, I think, in the table whenever we get this one to a conclusion. And then we'll be just down to the 5 remaining players in this main event tonight.
Frank's just said, evening, Des Leigh just got in from a 1K run. Fair play to you, Frank. Good work. Good work. Alan is back in there. Alan Redpath.
Does he run at night?
Yeah.
I hope he's wearing lights or something. Or
he's probably from Dublin. He's probably wearing a balaclava, I'd have thought. I mean, you got to test the narrative there.
When he says from a 1K run, does that mean he just took the bus once around the block? I mean, is that what he really meant? Yeah,
it probably means Mrs. Bailey, refused to come out and collect him from the bingo or something, and he's had to walk home. She's watching something on the TV. I get that. No, but that's pretty impressive. Well done, Frank. And yeah, Alan Redpath is also known as Smouty Boy.
Okay.
Go figure, Smouty Boy. Got to be a story behind that. There are a few choice nicknames within the general APAT circle, though. Some of them I do wonder about.
Really? Okay. Any we can talk about on air or?
Well, I mean, Coyote. Is that Alan from Newcastle?
Oh right, okay.
There's a bunch of them. I mean, I'm sure there's stories behind all of them. But Smouty Boy, that's a first. I haven't heard that one before.
I'm sure there'll be a story behind it. That's for sure.
So, Lee, we are at 4. The Chocolate King is second in chips. Hard to sort of bet against him because he is so wildly consistent. We know Martin's got his support in the chat box. John Jacobs we've seen in the past as well. Alexander, I don't know. Don't know if he's a regular or not.
Yeah, so Michael Cosmis has said done reasonably well tonight from Germany, but that's going to be him done. I don't think it's going to get
an ace king against an ace jack here. Alexander all in, and he hits a jack on the river, and he's taken a lot of Richard King's chips there. So I'm now backing against Richard King.
Richard's down to 4 bigs, so I think pretty much it's going to be. I'll tell you one of the questions that I got asked yesterday by Jen. She said, how long is the strip in Las Vegas?
That's a good question.
I said, it goes. I'm going well. It sort of goes from like Mandalay Bay down to the one
Stratosphere.
The Stratosphere. Yeah, it's quite a lot, but I was like, I've actually no idea how long that is.
Probably quite long. Probably
how
quite
long. Do you
long.
think? Any go on in miles?
Well, I'm gonna hazard a guess here at 4.5 kilometers.
4.5 kilometers.
I think it's quite long.
It's 4.2 miles, which is 6.8 kilometers.
Holy shitballs! I didn't think it was that long.
Yeah. So,
wow.
One of those where I kind of go, well, I didn't really know, so I had to look it up just so I'd know for future what the answer is. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's longer.
I wouldn't have put that.
I mean, I don't quite know exactly where that counts exactly from. But there obviously is a point where it'll
be a bit before the Mandalay Bay, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an impressive. I mean, to be honest, you just get a sense. The easiest way to get a sense for the scale of it is to just walk into one of the hotel sort of entry areas, because they have roads all of their own. They're just huge. And they're all wide. I mean, it's an exhausting place to walk around.
Yeah, but we were just chatting because my brother had he's getting married later on in the year, and was planning on. They originally were just going to go to Vegas, just get and do it. They had it all booked
get it
up
done. The little Elvis,
lockdown.
Yeah, do it.
Lockdown kind of kicked in, so that kind of delayed that plan. But it was. We would just say we were having a bit of a Vegas chat over lunch. And that question came up.
Wow.
And I said, I really don't know.
Frank comes in and says 4.2 miles. So there we go. And Mr. Jacobs, who is on our final table, currently second in chips, said his nickname was Crackers. Sure, you can figure out why, fellas. Yeah, we'll give him that one. Jacobs, Crackers. Fantastic.
Very nice.
I love. Yeah, this won't surprise you, Lee. This won't surprise you at all. I love a Jacobs cracker, but they've got to be dry.
Well, that comes as no
absolutely
surprise.
Just a thing of beauty.
Slightest, yeah. I can understand where you're coming from there, knowing you as I do. Yeah, that's. I don't know how you would possibly actually, manage to eat more than one dry, but yeah.
Oh, I could do a few of those, I have to say. I'm just wondering if Martin, if his nickname would be Pasty, perhaps.
Very good. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Very
King,
good.
come on. I mean, there's got to be. I mean, there was King's Crisps. I mean, there's got to be a lot of potential King foods.
Burger, obviously.
A Burger King. Oh, fantastic. Do I have? Hold on. Do I have? Let me see. I've got to have. There we go. Boom. You are deserving for that one. Oh, he's all in. Queen 8 against King 3. And I think the 8 has doubled Richard up there, from what I could tell. I haven't seen the end of that hand.
Oh, David Knee is fighting back in this turbo game. David Decker just cannot finish him off. Seems to just always just get a double up when he gets low. I was just looking at the scores now, and yeah, it's going to be so the two Davids are fighting this out now for the leaderboard. But actually, even if David Decker wins this, David Knee is going to be ahead of him by 0.62 of a point.
Well, back to the glory days of less than a point separating the
2/3 of a point, which means I think we are unless there's any jiggery round on the on these final four in the main event, we could be having an Irish.
Well, we've got an all-in and a call here, Lee. Martin Cornish is in with a queen and a king. John Jacobs got a couple of 10s, and Martin fails to hit, and we are going to lose him in 4th place. So, good game to Martin. And I think we might just lose a couple of Martin's fans. So, I hope you guys have a good evening.
That's it. That's the viewers over.
Yeah, you're getting a bit short there, Lee. Queen King starts to look attractive.
Yeah, it's difficult when you're at that point. I mean, blinds are 40,000, 80,000 now. So it's it's I can understand four-handed giving it a go, and it was a race. It wasn't. Oh,
absolutely! It sort of take
or anything.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. When the hands were turned over, I'm sure Martin was taking that. 2 live cards, over cards.
Yeah, very much so. So just the 2 tournaments left. Then we're 3-handed in the main event. Min cash now for these guys. They're all guaranteed $338. It's $489 for second and $756 up top. And the turbo knockout is currently heads up, as I've been mentioning. David Decker versus David Knee. They're both going to be top of the leaderboard by the end of tonight. Some decent results late on in the week, and both going to be ahead of Tony Ross. I think is going to end up 4th on the leaderboard, Des, by the end of all of this.
Well, I'd say another great run. I mean, welcome back, Tony, eh?
Cracking run for him. He's on step 4, so he's going to pick up a couple of tickets, I think, pretty much. Means Gordon MacArthur's just going to get pushed out the top 5 by Eddie Niaksu at the end of the day there. Richard Baker is going to end up in the top 20. I think he's only played 1 tournament this week. He won it. I think it was the first one of the week on Monday. Wow. Always gets a massive number of runners, so you get quite a few points for it on a Monday.
That's the dream, isn't it? You get in there, you get your points, then you declare. You say that's it now. So Monday evening, I'm done.
I'm pretty sure he's played 1 this week, but it's going to get him in the top 20.
A bit like Leicester.
And,
happy days.
And if depending on where John Jacobs finishes here, if he can get a win here, whichever one of the guys gets a win here, it's just going to squeeze them into the top 20. So they'll jump up to step 2 on the
extra
ladders,
value to be had there, guys.
So whoever wins this will just about say not many of the tournaments will get you into the top 20 from just 1 win, but there are a couple a week which will do it for you. Everything else means you're going to need to have a 2 or 3 cashes during the week to do it. David Knee and David Decker had 4 and 3 cashes. Eddie's had 5 this week.
That's great. That's 4. A great week.
So yeah, but we are going to be paying out our first 109 this week.
Good.
Mr. Wigglesworth looks like he's going to finish about 11th, I think, which is comfortably in the top 20. So he will stay on step 5 next week. I think. And even though he's full of the joys of spring and in the doghouse all at the same time today, because he should have been spending time elsewhere, and he was playing a bit of poker earlier on the week. So he's done enough to bag $109 ticket and get to have another go next week.
Absolutely fantastic. Very, very happy for him. By the way, Lee, I think he was doing a bit of multi-accounting this week. Can you have a word with the party? See if we can get that account closed?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, that's fine.
Can we just
yeah.
get the account closed?
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll sort that one out. That won't be a problem at all. Interestingly, a couple of the other guys that were on step 5. So Lewis Khabib was he had 1 cash this week, but only a min cash earlier on in the week, so only picked up 30 points. So we had a few that were on it, and Gary Young, I'm not sure whether he's played this week or not. I haven't seen him necessarily, but he certainly hasn't cashed all week, which is unusual.
Very unusual, yeah.
So I can only assume that maybe he's had a week off, but he was at step 5 as well. So yeah, I thought we were going to get really hit, if I'm honest, this week with 3 guys going at step 5. I thought we were, we'd one of them might make the top 5 and maybe another one in there, but we've just Mr. Wigglesworth first to do it, which is quite an apt thing.
It's apt. Yeah, it is. Yeah, tell you what, there's a tidy pot brewing here. There's just under 900k in the pot. Alexander against Richard King. Alexander to act. It's a pretty innocuous looking board, unless you're sat there with ace king, which feels like a bit of a long shot. So let's see if Richard's going to raise this river. He is indeed. 400k in there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a third of his stack, and Alexander's only got, twice that behind really himself.
So Alexander's not going to be too comfortable about that diamond maybe on the end, but nonetheless, I think you're calling this if you've got, well, what are you calling with? 8, 9.
He's calling with the 9, and he's had the jack kicker. He had the better kicker, but
wow.
Very difficult. I mean, trouble is Richard doesn't want to see necessarily the 8 pairing his hand on the river, because it doesn't improve his hand. And a great call there from Alexander.
Yeah, I thought it was a good call. Call. But I think not unreasonable to make that call either. I think you might be expected to.
No, I think
three-handed
in that situation. No reason not to.
Could Richard have done anything else there, Lee, do you think, to have got that final bet through? I mean, would an all-in have got that?
No, I think I get the feeling if Alexander's calling half his stack off there, he's probably calling the lot off. I would imagine it would have left him with 400,000 with blinds at 50,000, 100,000. So it would have left him with 4 bigs. I think he was calling with
pretty committed at that point.
With anything, yeah, I think so.
Richard's found himself a little bit short now. His 8's going to take this.
Well, all of them are really, Des, with three players left. I mean, average stack is only 1.7 million. So it's only 17 bigs. So it is quite shallow here at the moment. So I'm expecting to see a bit of action in the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Well, Rich is now prepared to push all in.
I say that, and both the Davids and the Turbo have managed to make this heads up last.
They're still going.
What feels like a lifetime. They're still going.
And the heads up on the PLO must have lasted about 20 minutes. I mean, that was quite. Yeah. Right, Alexander on the small. One assumes he's going to raise this up.
I knew Frank would know the distance, how far the strip was.
No, never in doubt. Never in doubt.
Yeah, sort of thing you would know.
Oh, we've got a call here. We've seen a flop. Alex first to go again.
Yeah, I've walked a fair bit of it, but not done the whole thing. Got an all in the call in the Turbo. And it's 10-8 for David Nee, and it's 7-5 for David Decker. He's hit his 5, and David Nee's going to miss. So that's going to be done. So David Decker will win the Turbo tonight, picking up, what did he pick up in total? $183 in bounties, Des.
Nice job.
He picked up $83 from the prize pool.
Oh, as a call.
And 183.
Wow.
Meanwhile, we've lost Richard. Queen 10 flopped the 10, but Alexander had flopped the jacks. So we're now heads up. John Alexander.
Richard, a little unlucky with his timing there, Lee, across both of those hands that have done for him.
Yeah, not a huge amount he can do. So he had a piece of all of it, wasn't it? It wasn't as if he just
oh, absolutely.
got, shoved his chips in.
He might have reasonably felt he was ahead in both of the hands.
4 versus 3s. 3s are at risk. Alexander needs to hit an ace or a 4. He's got a 4 on the river.
Wow.
And
that's it.
Is going to be that.
Wow.
And so John Jacobs is going to finish as runner-up, and Alexandra Chutkalenko,
it's good.
Is going to from Russia is going to take the win. That's going to put him up just into the top 20. He's going to finish in 17th place, and pretty good result for him. He picks up $756. John Jacobs picks up $490, and Richard King for third, $338. I say Richard King super successful in these Sunday night tournaments. So that means leaderboard for the week, Des. I think we got away with it. I think we've got away with this. David Nee from Ireland is going to be the leaderboard winner for the week. He's only on step 1, but he's going to pick up 3 of those $5.50 tickets. So well done to him. David Decker from Germany, 3 cashes in the week. He's going to pick up 2 tickets. Josef Jezek from the Czech Republic. He's on step 1 as well. He picks up 2 tickets. Eddie Niaksu, he got 5 cashes. He finishes in 5th. He picks up 2 tickets. So the only one, that pesky Tony Ross, he was on step 4. So he's going to pick up 2 lots of $55 tickets. Quick shout out to a couple of others that are going to step up. Gordon MacArthur was on step 2. He's in the top 20. So he's going to move up. Aaron's going to move up to step 4 next week. Pete Wigglesworth. Well done, Pete.
Nice job.
Well done.
Nice job. 109. Chinga.
109 to go. He's picked up one of those, so he'll stay on step 5 next week. Brendan Byrne made it into the top 20 again, so Brendan's up to step 4 next week. Michael Kosmis, who we mentioned tonight from Germany, 2 cashes tonight. That's all it took. 2 cashes tonight on a Sunday night has got him in the top 20. He was on step 2 already, so he's up to step 3 for next week. Stuart Baker from the UK as well was on step 2. He's up to step 3 for next week. All the others were step 1s there, but yeah, so we're going to see plenty of action next week, I think.
Mr. Jacobs Crackers, he's in the chat. He wants to know, did he miss out on the leaderboard? Did he make it?
He missed out on the top 20, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah, that was his
runner-up in the main event, and he's missed out.
That was his only cash for the week, and it wasn't enough to get him in the top 20.
Unlucky, John. Unlucky. Good effort.
Yeah, he finished 25th in the end. Only just missed out, but top 20 is what you need if you want to move up the steps.
Well, better a look next week, John. Good effort, sir. Big well done to everybody that you named there, Lee, who made the top 20 or who won events or just cashed in events through the week. We were glad to see you guys playing with us. We will be back, Lee and I, next Sunday night. Hope you all have a good week through. And outside of all of that, I think we're done for the week, Lee. Anything to add?
That's pretty much it. We'll see you all again this time next week.
We'll see you all again this time next week.